Hi there, welcome to kneppyinvests. The motivation of this video today is simple enough, and that is the fact that the company I'll be looking at today saw their share price rise 29% on the back of an announcement in regards to this company's biggest ever contract. And that company is Prophecy. Now, I do know a little bit about this company because I think it was in 2015, this company was the talk of the town. We did see the share price rise by about 500% in 1 year's time. And then this company just disappeared from the radar because even though they were experiencing some growth at that point in time, that growth fell away and we saw the share price pull all the way back to where it started from before it rose 500%. I've been following this company a little bit, not very closely. So I decided when I saw the share price rose 29% on the back of this announcement, I decided to take another look at Prophecy and see if this company is a potential buy in the future. Prophecy is a software company. They do have three brands: Snare, which is a pioneer in the event logging market; eMite, which seems to be the jewel of the crown in Prophecy's brands. That is, eMite provides big data and real-time analytics software to customers. And the last one, or the last brand, is eFoundation, which is legacy software that looks like it's on the way out and they're no longer supporting. Prophecy was founded in 1980. I found that hard to believe. I dug a little bit deeper, and in fact, it was founded in 1980. I believe, if I remember correctly, they began as an accounting software company and they listed on the ASX in 1997. Thus, this company has been around for quite a while, which did surprise me. CEO of Prophecy is Brad Thomas. He's been the CEO since April 2016. A very small stake in the company, only 0.1%. And since this company has been around for 40 years, more than likely the co-founders are no longer to be seen anywhere within the company, and that seems to be true. The largest shareholder is in fact the chairman, Ed Reynolds. He has 12.2% stake in the game. So there is a little bit of skin in the game, but I'm not sure how much of a say chairman has in the running. I prefer the CEO have more of a stake in the company than the chairman. The market cap of Prophecy at 75 cents after this 29% rise is only 48 million. So even though this company has been around for 40 years and on the ASX for over 20 years, the markup is still 48 million. So you can't really say this company has been a success since it's listed on the ASX. And the ticker code for Prophecy is, naturally enough, PRO. When I went to have a look at the financial state of Prophecy, looking at the financial year 21 numbers, compare it to financial year 20 numbers, nothing to get too excited here. Revenue down from 13.6 million to 12.8 million. The company is not operational cash flow positive. In fact, it went from being operational cash flow positive to negative, so 1.2 million to negative 0.4. Annual recurring revenue is rising at a fairly good rate. So it's increased from 7.6 million to 11.5 million. That's the only positive I did find about Prophecy when I looked at the financial state. And they're not quite as unprofitable as they were in financial year 20. So they've gone from a loss of 5.5 million to only a loss of 2 million in financial year 21. They do have $3.1 million of cash on hand, but overall, nothing too exciting here apart from the increase in annual recurring revenue. And that is actually a big thing. That means we can know what sort of revenue this company will have in the future, because this annual recurring revenue is in a way set in stone. Not absolutely set in stone, but it is set in stone. So if they can continue to increase annual recurring revenue on a yearly basis, revenue should start climbing, and I do think this company would become more attractive. The other thing I wanted to look at is how good the specific brands are doing, in particular eMite and Snare. Wasn't really fussed about eFoundation since that was on the way out. And Snare was going backwards, so it seems like all the growth in this company over the last financial year was in eMite. Revenue grew 32% from the previous year, up to 4.9 million. Annual recurring revenue up 77%, up to 7.6 million. And they even provided the fourth quarter revenue for eMite. That was up to 1.7 million, which was up 316% from the previous corresponding period. So it does seem like eMite is their brand that they should be focusing based off the growth rates in this specific brand over the past year. If we turn our attention to the financial history of Prophecy over the past 8 years, nothing really strikes out at me right here. And this is looking at half-year revenue, operating cash flow, and profit. I've already mentioned there was a little bit of hype in this company back in 2015. So if we ignore the last about 4 or 5 years, there was a bit of growth in this company. In fact, revenue grew from 2.7 million in the last quarter of financial year 13 to $8 million 2.5 years later. So there was growth in this company. Not only that, that was a record revenue half year for this company, also a record operating cash flow half for this company, and a record profit half year for this company. But since that half year, back in, that's the first year of financial year 2016, everything's gone backwards, or at least, or at the very least, gone sideways. Particularly over the last 3 years, everything, or revenue, just gone sideways. And the other metrics here, cash flow from operations and profit, have actually gone backwards. So this doesn't fill me with lots of confidence about the future of Prophecy, just looking at this in isolation. And if I was to take a position in Prophecy, it'd be around the potential growth in eMite over the next few years. And that's why the market got excited when they released this announcement about this large contract for eMite. So let's talk about that right now. Typically, I don't get too excited about contracts that companies win, but this was a fairly significant contract for Prophecy in terms of eMite, and this was in regards to a contract with a company on the New York Stock Exchange called Humana. And this Humana, haven't really heard of them, but they seem to be a fairly big company because they have a market capitalization of $50 billion with 48,000 employees, and they are one of the biggest health insurance providers in the US market. So maybe I should have heard of them. But it's the contract terms which is interesting. So a minimum contract of $1.8 million in annualized recurring revenue, total contract value at $5.5 million, and that means eMite annual recurring revenue now exceeds $10 million. So that's a significant contract in terms of this eMite brand that Prophecy has. And I think that's why the market got excited about this announcement, and that's why the share price rose 29%, finishing at 75 cents at the end of trading. If we turn our attention to the weekly chart for Prophecy going back 10 years, you can really see where the market got excited about this company way back in 2015. In fact, the share price rose from about 40 cents to a high of $2.50. So that's a 6-fold increase in share price over a 1-year period. It was all through 2015, in fact. And then just as quick as it rose, it fell just as quick during 2016. So the reason why the share price rose during 2015 was the market was getting excited because for the previous few years, we had seen revenue increase for Prophecy. We also saw the company become operational cash flow positive and profitable as well. But all those metrics fell away during 2016 into 2017. And that's why the share price fell from $2.50 all the way to a low of 25 cents during 2019. Share price has started to recover from that low in 2019, but still only at 75 cents right now. And we have seen the share price higher in the previous 18 months. So back in 2020, we did see the share price get to about 88 cents on 2 occasions. It does look like the share price does want to rise from here, and this could be the impetus or the catalyst for the re-rating in Prophecy's share price, particularly if they are able to win more contracts with the eMite brand, and that should add to the fuel or add fuel to the fire in Prophecy's share price, and a potential new uptrend developing if that does happen. If we turn our attention to the daily chart for Prophecy going back to just before the COVID-19 financial panic, nothing too exciting here, but the share price did get to about 25 cents during the peaks or the depths of the financial panic, and then the share price rebounded fairly well. In fact, it rose to just on 90 cents. So I did mention 88 cents in the previous slide, but it looks like based off this chart, the share price got to 90 cents in June, July of last year. It really has been going backwards since then until they released this announcement with this contract with Humana. Now, one of the things that got me interested with this announcement was not only the share price increase, but it also coincided with a massive spike in volume. And whenever I see the share price increasing on the back of a positive announcement and it's coinciding with a large increase in volume, I will have to take a further look at this announcement and this company because the market is excited about it. And I do want to listen to what the market is telling me. What I'm going to do now is just wait for a few more days just to see what happens with the share price. Doesn't mean I will take a position in prophecy, but this announcement could be the turning point for the company in the medium to long term. That is all I have for this video on prophecy. That is all I have for this video on prophecy. The share price increasing 29% on the back of the largest contract in this company's history. I think they did say that. Or maybe it was in regards to their brand eMite. If you do have any questions about this company or any other company on the ASX, I'd love to hear your thoughts, your questions, or your opinions. So leave it in the comment section of this video. Otherwise, I am not a financial advisor. If you do need financial advice, make sure you seek out someone who is qualified and can speak to your own financial needs. That's it for this video. Have a good day. Bye.